here in Salford. It's the home of the largest collection of Alistair Lowry paintings in London, and this is also houses the largest theatres outside of London. Today we're going to be doing
what is that, the learning and engagement?
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
Okay, so the Learning and Engagement team provides a range of opportunities and activities for people from 0 up to 105 through connecting with our theatres programme or our galleries programme, through doing outreach work and doing targeted work with very specific groups of young people.
And how do you feel that has affected the Lowry's development?
So learning and engagement is at the heart of what the Lowry does. It's really important to the organisation. So young people particularly are involved in pretty much every aspect of the organisation, whether that's performing on our stages, presenting work in our galleries, or working with us through our employability scheme. It's also ensured that the theatre productions and the gallery exhibitions we have opportunities for young people to engage with them, and people of all ages as well. So it's really very much about the Lowry being here for the people of Salford in particular, but for everybody to come in and get involved with in any way that they want.
Okay, thank you. And do you have any targets or initiatives to broaden that target audience?
Yeah, so while they're our target audience, we don't forget everybody else around them as well. So we've got a programme for families and children, and that is age, birth basically, up to about 11, and we do that in a range of ways. So we've got activities specifically for very small children, and that's dance and art activities that we offer every week. We also do family activities where the whole family come together. We've got theatre shows that are designed for young children, theatre shows that are put on, they're called Babes in Arms productions, and that's so that parents can come with a very small child and enjoy a piece of theatre, similar to the cinema, in that they do parents and baby screenings. It's a similar thing, but it's theatre shows. At the other end of the scale, we run a large amount of courses for people aged 18 plus, and that's in acting, in visual arts, pretty much everything you can think of.
Okay. Tell me, what sort of variety is there within the Lowry's workshops?
Okay, so it really varies season by season, and that's because we adapt what we do very closely to fit with our theatres programme and with our galleries programme. So every season we will have a children's offer, a family offer, young people's offer and an adult offer. That will be connected in with the companies that are performing. So for example, our school workshops, we will always have something around Lowry, but we might also have something around Hamlet, because the National Theatre are bringing that to us. And it's the same for all our other programmes as well. So we regularly run activities that are connected to circus shows, to National Theatre productions, to Birmingham Royal Ballet productions. So what we do changes all the time, but it's always about being participant-led and about engaging with the amazing artists that come here to the Lowry and giving people the opportunity.
What are the department goals within the Lowry in the next year?
So within the Learning and Engagement department, we've got 4 sort of goals, 4 strands of work. So the first of those is our targeted engagement work, which is very much about using the arts as a tool for social change, working with young people using the arts for them to explore the world around them and have a voice. And it's also about us working with communities to put their stories and experiences in our venue, as well as providing access for those communities to the theatre and the artists that come here. We have a a goal to develop young people's talent, and that is where our young theatre and dance companies come in, and that's very much skill development for those young people in being theatre makers or dancers of the future. We have an employability scheme, which is very much about empowering young people to go back into education or employment, and we have a participation and learning strand of work, which is about our engaging with schools and making sure that the arts stays within the curriculum from primary right through to university and beyond, and provides general access for people of all ages to engage in the arts for pleasure, for well-being, and for development.
Okay, thank you. Could you tell us about the schools programme that you run?
Yeah, sure. So we have a schools programme that goes from early years right through to university and university of the third age. Particularly we work with primary schools and secondary schools. We've got a range of offers. So we are the Lowry, we're the home of the largest collection of L.S. Lowry artworks in the world. So obviously we offer activities around that. So we do school workshops in visual arts and in drama around Lowry, exploring his life, his art, all of that. But we also do bespoke workshops called picnics. So a school can request a workshop on absolutely anything in the world, and an art form of their choice, and we will work with our artists and with that school to develop that workshop for them. So for example, we recently did a dance workshop themed on Lowry and volcanoes. And that worked. We were at school, we're really happy with that, so we can pretty much turn our hand to anything. We also offer school workshops linked to the visiting companies that come here. So recently we've offered workshops around Shakespeare. We've got Hamlet coming, that comes with a whole range of school workshops. We've got, trying to think about everything else that's coming up. We've got a programme of work next year where we're really hoping that we will get secondary schools involved with what's happening. We've had secondary schools involved with ELF in that they've gone behind the scenes and spoken to the wardrobe department as part of their textiles GCE course.
Hello, I'm Claire Stewart. I'm the curator of the Lowry collection here at the Lowry, and I'm sitting in one of the galleries of our display called L.S. Lowry, the Art and the Artist. And this shows the Lowry collection, which is about 400 works by Lowry, both paintings and drawings, plus works on loan to us from public and private collections all over the country. So this is the largest public collection of works by L.S. Lowry anywhere. And we try and keep about 150 or so works on display at any one time. And I'm sitting in a gallery full of industrial scenes, and that's still what Lowry is best known for, are the sort of mill scenes of people coming to work or leaving work. But we like to have a really broad sample of works by him on display, so you'll also find portraits and seascapes and landscapes by Lowry, which are a bit less well known. He was a very prolific artist. He lived for a long time. He was born in 1887, so he was a sort of Victorian child, and he died in 1976. And he loved drawing in pencil, so you'll always find lots of drawings on display, as well as paintings. So I hope you'll enjoy coming to look at the gallery sometime if you're here. This is called Coming from Mill and was painted by Lowry in 1930, and he described it himself as one of his most characteristic mill scenes. And as I say, this is what Lowry is still best known for, are these industrial scenes. Usually invented, sometimes they sort of contain elements of a real place, but he tends to sort of put it together into an invented picture, with crowds of people in this case coming away from work. So you have all the people sort of flooding out of the factory gates here, heading down the road, and then you've got a nice sort of group here of children, and the little dogs often appear in Lowry's pictures everywhere. And the horse and cart just hidden behind the wall. Lowry said he wasn't very good at painting horses. I suspect this is why the horse is kind of half hidden by the wall here. But there are lots of elements that you'll find in other Lowry paintings, the telegraph poles, this very sort of distinctive style of lamppost. And in his industrial scenes there's often this mix of mill buildings, church spires, sort of factories, maybe a sort of colliery in the background or something. So it is indeed perhaps a classic scene by him. a seascape that I painted in 1952, and this is the sort of picture that people are sometimes still surprised to find that Lowry painted. Although the sea was a recurring theme in his work, members of his family recall that when he was a young boy he was drawing yachts off the coast with the St Anne's, and in later life he kept going back and back to the northeast coast of England and painting the sea, sometimes with a single ship coming towards you on the horizon. But this is one of these very empty seascapes, and it really is sort of reduced to a strip of beach, a strip of sea and sky, and that's it. And in fact, when it was bought for a Salford Museum and Art Gallery's collection in the 50s, some people complained that it was a painting of nothing, and really they were just paying for Lowry's name. It's a very beautiful picture, and it's really nice to see that other side of it.
This is Lowry's self-portrait, painted in 1925 when he was in his late 30s, and he's painted himself in a really kind of straightforward, down-to-earth way, sort of presumably looking at himself in a mirror, and sort of comes out staring sort of straight out of the canvas at you. Not a sort of romantic portrait of an artist, but as a sort of, as I say, a down-to-earth man. He was born in 1887, lived till 1976, so a very long life, and he always lived in and around Manchester, but he travelled widely across the UK and made drawings and paintings all across the country. He struggled for a long time to sell very many works of art. He was exhibiting quite widely from the 1920s onwards, really, but it's really only in the 1950s, after he retired from his day job, if you like, that he starts to make a real profit from painting pictures. Not a massive profit, but he does start to make a little bit of money. And all that time previously, he was working during the day as a rent collector in Clark for the Pall Mall Property Company. So his paintings were being made in the evenings and at weekends, that kind of thing, and he just keeps going, he never stops. So he was a very committed artist. And by the time he retires is really when he's starting to become better known as an artist, and now people know his work really well, and he's probably one of the country's favourite artists still after all this time.